The students shall have access to nutritious, various, and healthy food. A healthy and quality alimentation is fundamental for the good academic performance because it helps to improve the memory, the capacity of concentration, and the personal well-being. It's important to include food like complex carbohydrates, for example, the whole wheat, because proportion more energy and of the better quality than simple carbohydrates like cakes or cookies. The fruits and vegetables are important because provide the vitamins and minerals necessary. The good fats like dried fruits, avocado, etc. are important because maintain healthy hormones. And the proteins that are responsible for important tasks such as formation of the neurotransmitters. The students shall make the most of the alimentation and they will not waste it. If students have access to healthy and quality food, they should attend lunchtime and not waste it. Otherwise, the school considers that not need them. The students shall have a school day with few hours. A school day with few hours allows students to have a better performance because the ability of concentration of a person does not go beyond 20 minutes. So this is not the same at 8 in the morning that at 2 p.m. And the extensive school day causes the students to exhaust and fatigue, besides not allowing them to have time to perform other activities such as extracurricular activities. The students shall make the most of that time. If students have few hours of class, they should make the most of that time by studying, participating in the class, and maintain good behavior that allow the class to be developed efficiently. The student shall have access to extracurricular activities. The extracurricular activities are very important because allow the students to develop in other areas, not only the academic, such as in the artistic, sports, gastronomic, expressive, etc. Nevertheless, these activities also contribute to good academic performance, as they allow stress to release, maintaining good physical and mental health.
The student shall have the duty attend to the extracurricular activities
and take care of the material is used.
The student shall have the right to drink water in class.
As the prevents headaches, migraines, and active students with all individual to have either perform.
The student shall have the duty of not misusing the water.
This means that the end of the water inside the classroom will be only to be drunk, and if it spills, the students will have to clean.
The student shall have the right to transport subsidized by the school.
What about the last interruptions in the students' classroom and abuse of students in public transportation?
student shall have the duty to respect the schedule of the transport,
so as not to make that delay, and take care of it so that future generations can use it.
The student shall have a quiet class and that support their education.
The environment in the class is the more important for education, because in the class is where the students learn better things, they pay attention to the teacher, and have more materials for their progress. Without a good environment, it's hard that the students can focus and therefore they can't pay attention, hear to the teacher, and learn in subjects. In consequence, the students will not know some terms and will have bad qualifications.
The student shall have a good behavior in their class.
The environment in the class helps to education of the students since help to concentration, understanding and application of this subject. And it's very important that the students have a good behavior.
The student shall have a good infrastructure in their school.
A good infrastructure in their school help a better education since that open space. Airy and with good lighting help the environment begin nice, therefore study is nicer. The space important for progress and tests like labs, library or gyms, among others.
The student shall care the space in their school.
If the students have a good infrastructure, they shall care the space because destroy the school only cause damage for their education.
The student shall have a well-equipped classroom.
It is progress that having a well-equipped for study helps because gives students more options for study and new ways of learning. Therefore, the students should have better qualifications if they have more implementation for study. For example, in the class, a smart board, digital books, or among others.
The duty of the students is to take care of the new material of the class. The duty of the students is to take care of the new material of class since it will be a more advanced material that will later serve other students. The students shall have to access to dynamic class. This is so that the class are not so repetitive and the students do not get bored. A good idea would be to take students to a park for recreation activities. The duty of the students is to take care of the place. Into the dynamic class, the students shall have respecting the teachers and behaving well in any situation. The students shall have the right to have green areas within school. A green area will make the students in the recess have a more comfortable and natural place. The students shall have the duty to take care of these green areas. The students shall have the duty to take care of these green areas by not throwing garbage and taking care of the grass or different materials that may have.